Es tiempo de Madden NFL 22, damas y caballeros, sean bienvenidos a este nuevo gameplay. Este es un juego que acabo de descargar de Game Pass, así es, el bendito God Pass. Estoy iniciando una nueva temporada, una nueva campaña 2022 y por supuesto utilizando a mis Buffalo Bills, que son comandados por el fantástico Josh Allen, que, dicho sea de paso, en la temporada pasada de la NFL, en la vida real, claro está, fue uno de los jugadores, de los quarterbacks que más brilló en toda la liga. Y bueno, ya me aventé toda la pretemporada y la neta lo hice bastante bien. No estoy tan tronco o tan manco como imaginaba y bueno, iniciamos la temporada regular enfrentando ni más ni menos que a los Steelers, los queridísimos acá en México Acereros de Pittsburgh. Y bueno, pues acá en México tienen una fanaticada bastante importante y por supuesto que tengo varios amigos que son fans de esa franquicia. Uno de ellos es mi carnal, mi super brother Beto, el mismísimo pequeño. Hermano, te mando un fuerte abrazo, espero que disfrutes este gameplay, este partidazo. Y bueno, este juego está configurado en el nivel Pro para que pues, los madrazos valgan la pena. Igualmente está formateado full game para que lo vivamos como una transmisión de la televisión, de la NFL normal, tal cual lo vivimos con la familia, los cuates ahí en la botana. Y bueno, pues sin más rollo los dejo con este juegazo que se viene con todo.
Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gordon, so happy to kick off this much-anticipated 2021 season. With me in the booth as we begin our sixth season together is, of course, Charles Davis.
You, of course, and we've got a good out of the gates. I'm interested in seeing some of the changes in 2021. Running backs and wideouts, even linebackers wearing single-digit numbers. But even more than that, I want to see the changes defenses have made because last year, we averaged 49.6 points per game. That's the highest ever by 3 full points. Can these defenses make an adjustment and start to catch up?
Yeah, passer rating, CD, an all-time high. Completion percentage, also an all-time high. So as you said, will those numbers continue to climb northward, or will the defenses adjust? Steelers here, ready to go to work for the first time. And a grizzled vet, Ben Roethlisberger, bringing him out now in his 18th season in the National Football League.
And what a career we've seen from Ben Roethlisberger. Awfully consistent, tough, durable, strong in the pocket, great leader, a guy who stands in and throws it downfield, and has also added to his game the ability to get the ball out of his hands quickly and let his guys do work downfield.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you can do worse than a 4-yard run at first down.
Deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They go play action with Roethlisberger. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as they'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. So here come the Bills for their first go on offense, led by their Pro Bowl quarterback. Now in his 4th season, it's Josh Allen.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man, complete. And all the way home for the Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 93 yards. And the Bills are on the board here first in the season opener. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. On 3rd down, Harris. And this is going to be a Steelers 1st down as he gets it up past the 35.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the 1st round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year were the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Here's Roethlisberger. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have a Steelers 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as he'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So here come the Bills out for their 2nd drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Play action. Now it's Allen. Flush to his right. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They run here with Singletary. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in Week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Ray McCloud to return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. The Steelers on third down. They've been okay. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. To return is McKenzie. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. The Bills ready to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I like this young guy out of Ole Miss in his third year with double typical size for a tight end, 6'4", 254. I thought 2020 would be a big year for him. I do think it will happen in 2021.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play here for Buffalo. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And this is more of the same right here. These guys have definitely been the aggressors here in the first half. They pushed the envelope in terms of play calls, and that's reflected in the score. And now they're in a position to widen this lead.
Yeah, the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bills are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here. Closer to the goal line, it's the run game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Return. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Now they got to get to the line quickly to try again after the sack. Roethlisberger, he'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Roethlisberger will throw. In trouble, and he's taken down. Carlos Basham in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? Second sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get one. That's memorable.
Now, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Buffalo offense and Devin Singletary heading back out there. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how's he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. On play action, Allen going deep for Diggs. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Short little throw to Ebron. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one's not going to get them here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin with the Sam Darnold Bowl, the season opener between New York and Carolina. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes.
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third.
From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And you can see they lead the visiting Arizona Cardinals at halftime.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Derrick Henry, a touchdown run in that first half.
On the return, it's McKenzie. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Josh Allen leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Eluding the pressure right. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On play action, Allen. Going deep for Diggs. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now Roethlisberger. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Everyone's scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. The 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, 85 yards. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and it turns upfield.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field. But to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run again with Harris. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. McKenzie now to return it. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Singletary to get the drive started. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And some room to maneuver. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Some big runs in. He got loose on a big one there.
And they've had little to no success stopping him on the ground all game long because that's his 3rd touchdown of the game, and by far the best touchdown of the bunch. They came in this game knowing that they needed to rely on him, and the defense knew they needed to slow him down. Yet he's delivered in a big way, and he's been sensational.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that is incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they're not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bills going to take over again on offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but Cole Beasley, he's in his 10th NFL season, and in 2020, his best year yet. 82 catches, close to 1,000 yards. Loves the freedom that this Bills offense affords him.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They will run with Singletary. A gain of 3, second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Right back to Singletary on second down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. Blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Allen off the play fake. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play here for Buffalo. And for Josh Allen, that last pass puts him over 10,000 passing yards now in his young career. And you think about it, he came into the league in 2018, so he's trailing only Baker Mayfield from his class who got there sooner. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Singletary. And he's brought down. 126 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. A lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Josh Allen, now 3 week 1 touchdowns. And the Bills are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. So it's looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And pardon me, you know NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic.
And now they're going to fake it. And he will not make it to the goal line. It's his try for 2 is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, Huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. That swung out wide to Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Juju Smith-Schuster the target once again. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. To the right side to Eric Ebron. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And his throw will be intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Bills will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it complete to Harris. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And he floated one out there incomplete.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to this. Been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Play action. Now it's Allen. He's going to go deep for Beasley. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger, and that is incomplete here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Steelers send out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Fielded at the 20. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. He's going to look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And got his man complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. He's got it at the 10, and he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, Parker, one more time. You put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say, they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And they take him. Jerry Hughes. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense, right?
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 39. And the Bills come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as ever. Incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well.
¿Qué tal, amigas y amigos? ¿Cómo les pareció el juego? Para mí, pues chingón porque pues dio una paliza brutal. La neta pensaba que estos acereros iban a traer más, pues más power, más punch. Iban a rifar un poco más, pero pues la neta es que no. Parece que sí tengo buen nivel y gracias a Josh Allen y compañía, pues la pasé bastante bien. Muchas gracias por acompañarme en este gameplay, en este video. Porfa, suscríbanse. Nos vemos en el que sigue. Chao, chao.